Two children caught between two worlds, two continents, and two very different visions of what their future should look like. The question everyone's asking isn't just about titles or palaces anymore. It's about something far more personal, and the answer might surprise you. When Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made their dramatic exit from royal life back in 2020, the world watched in fascination. They wanted freedom, privacy, and a chance to raise their kids away from the relentless spotlight. Fast forward to today, and that dream looks nothing like what anyone expected. Reports suggest the couple's children, Archie and Lilibet, have become central figures in a debate that goes way beyond family drama. Insiders claim there's been mounting concern within royal circles about how the kids are being raised, what they're being told about their heritage, and whether they're being shielded from public life or positioned for it. The tension reportedly reached new heights when palace officials noticed something unusual. The children, who were supposed to be living quiet lives in California, started appearing in carefully curated social media posts and promotional materials linked to various Sussex projects. Nothing explicit, nothing that crossed obvious lines, but enough to raise eyebrows among those who remember the strict protocols around royal children. One palace source allegedly told journalists that the situation felt less like protection and more like preparation for something commercial. But here's where it gets complicated. Meghan and Harry have always maintained they're doing what's best for their children, keeping them out of the toxic British media environment that they say caused so much damage. They've spoken openly about wanting Archie and Lilibet to grow up with normal childhoods, free from the suffocating expectations that come with being born into the world's most famous family. On paper, that sounds reasonable. In practice, critics argue it's become anything but simple. Rumours started circulating about potential media deals that would feature the Sussex children in some capacity. Nothing confirmed, but enough smoke to start a fire. Reports claim that entertainment executives in Los Angeles had been pitched concepts involving the family's daily life, parenting journey, and yes, the kids themselves. The palace reportedly went into damage control mode, with senior royals convening emergency meetings to discuss what legal protections existed for children in the line of succession, even if they were being raised thousands of miles away. The relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry, once inseparable, has deteriorated to the point where they barely communicate, and the children have become symbolic of that divide. William's kids are being raised in the traditional royal way, attending events, learning protocols, being gradually introduced to public life under controlled circumstances. Meanwhile, Archie and Lilibet remain largely unseen, their lives a mystery that fuels endless speculation. Some see this as a healthy boundary. Others view it as deliberate erasure of their royal identity. Then came the financial questions that nobody wanted to ask out loud. Trust funds, inheritance rights, and commercial opportunities all intersect in uncomfortable ways when you're talking about children who are technically royalty but living as American civilians. There have been whispers about Meghan exploring brand partnerships that would somehow involve her role as a mother to royal children, without actually exploiting the children themselves. It's a thin line, and reports suggest she's been walking it carefully, perhaps too carefully for the palace's comfort. Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense approach to royal duty, allegedly made her position crystal clear during private family discussions. She's said to believe that you're either in or you're out, and trying to have it both ways creates exactly the kind of mess everyone's now dealing with. Her concern, according to those who know her thinking, isn't about punishment or control. It's about consistency and protecting children from being used as bargaining chips in an ongoing public relations battle. The Netflix and Spotify deals that Harry and Meghan signed were supposed to be about their own stories, their own voices. But content creators know that family sells, children sell, and royal children sell even better. There's been intense scrutiny over whether any of the content produced or planned crosses ethical lines. Palace lawyers reportedly reviewed contracts and marketing materials, looking for anything that might constitute unauthorized use of royal associations. What they found remains mostly confidential, but the fact that they were looking at all speaks volumes. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has stayed conspicuously silent through most of this, which is telling in itself. She's raising 3 children who will one day be at the very center of the monarchy, and she's doing it with painstaking attention to tradition and protocol. The contrast with how Meghan approaches motherhood couldn't be starker, and that contrast has become a talking point all on its own. Some admire Catherine's restraint. Others see Meghan's approach as refreshingly modern. The truth is probably that both women are doing what they think is right in impossible circumstances. Harry finds himself torn between two worlds in ways that must be agonizing. He wants to protect his children from the institution that he blames for his mother's death and his own trauma. But he also can't completely sever ties to a family and heritage that define who his children are, whether he likes it or not. Reports suggest he's been trying to negotiate some kind of middle ground, a way for Archie and Lilibet to maintain connections to their British roots without being consumed by royal life. Whether that's even possible remains an open question. The public relations war has become increasingly sophisticated on both sides. Carefully timed leaks, strategic interviews, and competing narratives all designed to shape how the world sees this family drama. Meghan's team frames her as a protective mother fighting against institutional racism and outdated traditions. The palace portrays itself as an institution trying to preserve dignity and protect children from commercialization. Both narratives contain elements of truth, which is what makes this so messy. Recent developments suggest things might be coming to a head. There are reports of legal consultations, discussions about custody arrangements should anything happen to either parent, and questions about what happens when the children are old enough to make their own choices. Will they embrace their royal heritage or reject it entirely? Will they resent being kept away from that world or thank their parents for the distance? What's often lost in all the speculation and controversy are 2 young children who didn't ask for any of this. They didn't choose to be born into royalty. They didn't decide their parents should leave the institution. They're just kids trying to grow up while the world watches and judges every decision made on their behalf. Whatever you think about Meghan and Harry's choices, whatever side you take in the royal family drama, those children deserve privacy, stability, and the chance to figure out who they are without the weight of everyone's expectations crushing them. The palace has made it clear that it views Archie and Lilibet as part of the royal family, regardless of where they live or how they're being raised. That means certain protections, certain expectations, and certain responsibilities that don't just disappear because their parents moved to California. How that plays out in practice, especially as the children get older and start forming their own opinions, is anyone's guess. As we move forward, one thing seems certain: this story is far from over. The children are still young, the family wounds are still fresh, and the competing visions for what their lives should look like remain fundamentally incompatible. Something will have to give eventually. The question is what, when, and at what cost to the children caught in the middle of it all.